Okay, we are live already.
Yes,
So
sir.
where are you based?
My family is based in Lagos, but I have a recent job in Abuja. I'm an accountant by profession.
Okay, so you are in Abuja now.
Yeah, I'm doing this talk we are doing. I'm right in Abuja.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
It's too small. This, oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, Armstrong is here now. Welcome, Armstrong.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just welcoming the people. I'm just welcoming meanwhile the people who are watching us from YouTube. So Armstrong is there. Who else is there on YouTube? Okay, Adiola Disu is there as well. Okay, we are welcoming the YouTube audience first before we go into Facebook. Okay, she is there. All right. Nice to see you people. Doris is there as well. Rose is there. Okay. Okay, let's see if we are on Facebook already. Femi Oluwawo. Right. Nice to see you. Okay. In a few minutes' time, we are going to be joined by the team from Facebook. Right now, we're on YouTube. So Facebook will be on anytime from now. So let's see if we have Facebook on. Yeah, we have Facebook on. Let's greet a few people from there as well before we take up full fledged. Okay, full force. Who do we have there on Facebook? Holiness, Cobbler, Thoughtful Writer. Okay, those are the names I'm seeing so far. Shaw Smith, yep. Okay, Shaw Smith is writing. Pastor Sunday, today is the 28th. Please tell us where we can watch your 1 hour interview with being broadcast today in the US. Bill Evans, War Room. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's already out. Oh, that interview is already out. Okay, when I finish this one, I will go and post it on my wall so that you'll be able to see it on the wall. Actually, you can write to Julie to post the interview from the War Room, both on the YouTube. Let her put it on the YouTube, on the Facebook. Barry Golden is here. Yakubu Farida, Abiola Wukoya, Kobla Ati, Urerigo Holiness. Okay, Henry Iye Doyen, Abraham Adeyemi, Jim Musanka. Well, welcome every one of you. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to our guest today. We're going to have a unique interview today. This interview is with Peter Okrosa.
Yes.
Peter Okrosa is from Lagos, is from Nigeria, and he wrote a book that is a very interesting book. It's called Campaign Against Corruption in Nigeria. Campaign Against Corruption in Nigeria. So, Peter, hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about you. How come you are writing this book about corruption in Nigeria?
Well, like I said before, my name is Peter Okrosa. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I am also a very strong Christian. Right from my youth, I have been hardworking, and I hate shortcuts. I don't do things shortcuts. Even in my university days, I hate shortcuts. I got all my grades by merit until today, and I believe in hard work. And I believe also that this country is retrogressing, has retrogressed a lot because of corruption. As part of my own contribution to fighting corruption, that is the main reason I wrote the book. But I could also talk a little bit more about the objectives of the book. One, the objective of the book is to make people understand the factors that are responsible for corruption, the undercurrents, the things that are responsible for corruption. It's also to deal with them, especially when you look at the value system of society. Most times people think that the problem of corruption has to do with the leadership. But when you look at the society deeply, you begin to understand the biggest problem of the society is about depreciating value system. That is where the problem is coming from. So the purpose of the book is to make people understand what are the value system of society. How does they impact on people's behavior to the extent they impact on the leader's behavior. That is the purpose of the in-depth purpose of the book.
Beautiful, you got it just right. There's another book I also wrote. I wrote a book that is called Nigeria and the Leadership Question. And that is where I raised the topic of the value system. But where did you come across the concept? Personally, where did you come across the concept of value systems?
I had opportunity to travel to the UK and to study on scholarship. I stayed in the UK for 5.5 years. And while I was in the UK, one of the questions that was disturbing my mind was why the developmental gap between Nigeria and the UK? I began to look at the society. I began to ask questions. And by reading more and more and more and more, and by watching the behavior of the average Nigerian compared to the English people to compare to the white people, I discovered that there is a gap somewhere. Our values are responsible for the way we behave mostly.
Yes. How did you pick it up? That is because most people who are, you live in Nigeria, and you know that in Nigeria, most people who talk about corruption and most people who complain about what is wrong with Nigeria, almost 100%, at least 90% of the time, they only complain about politicians and our leaders. That is what they complain about.
Yes.
But how did you, because I've never had a Nigerian talk about it, that is a value system question. I've had myself talk about it. I've even written a book about it, that it is all about value system. But for a Nigerian to talk like that is very unusual to me.
It should not be unusual. Some people are very, very observant. I think I am an observant person. And apart from being observant, I discuss, though I'm an accountant, but I have a little bit of political interest. And I discuss with people. My classmates, I discuss with them when we're in the UK. My mates, my Nigerian friends, my colleagues, we discuss. And so we begin to try to pin down the problem. What is actually what is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? And why are we so corrupt? From there, I now understand that, look, it is something that has to do with our culture, our values, because our culture and our values, culture is not about dancing and singing and playing drum. That is just the physical aspect of culture. But when you look at the culture of people, the way people celebrate their life, the way people think about success, the way people celebrate success, You see, we celebrate our success in Nigeria based on what you have acquired. It is not based on what you have contributed to the society. If you have more money, no matter how you get the money, people are likely to celebrate you. Nobody is going to ask you, how did you get your money? So I begin to look at these indices. I begin to pick them one by one. You look at, even among the clergy, you now begin to see that we celebrate wealth in a different way. We don't celebrate achievement. We don't celebrate hard work, but we celebrate the quantity of money, the value of money, how much wealth you have. That is where I started picking it up from. And as I go around, I begin to see that the thing is run through the whole society, from up, from down, up, from down, up. It's not coming from up. It's coming from down, up. So somebody who is an ordinary citizen, he has already imbibed a value system that when he gets to office, he's going to behave exactly the way he has been taught from home. It's not going to be different.
Now, what is the root? Because if you are talking that corruption is a value system problem, if it's a value system problem, it means that it is the way the people behave that the leaders will behave.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
So what are the corruption in the people that we are now seeing in our leaders that you have been able to identify?
You see, let me say it like this. The way people think, the way people see themselves, the way people relate to one another, first of all, the way people define success. Let us start from there. How do we define success in Nigeria? That is the first thing. If you see we define success in Nigeria, we define success around material acquisition. Once you have money, you have quantity of money, a certain quantity of money at your disposal, and you can spread it around and you can spend it, people are likely to think that you are a successful man. It doesn't matter whether you are an armed robber, it doesn't matter whether you rob people, it doesn't matter whether you are into ritual. So, first of all, it's the way the people define success and the way people see success. That is the first thing. So, if I was talking about fighting corruption, we have to really define success. That is the first place. So it starts from there. It starts from there. For example, let us take it this way. If you see a professor that is so good at his work and he has earned degrees, he has taught many people, and he does not have money, nobody is going to celebrate him. But if you go to anywhere in Nigeria and you can, if Nigerian travel abroad, for example, and is able to do 419 or is able to do one funny thing, and he comes back to Nigeria, they are most likely to celebrate him. So the village headmaster is not celebrated. The pastor who does not have too much money is not going to be celebrated. The academician is not going to be celebrated. Somebody who is good at his work, just that you are doing your work faithfully, you are not going to be celebrated. So it starts with how does the society define success. So that behavioral pattern will definitely drive people into corruption. Because if I enter public office and I am not stealing government money, I keep my hands clean, nobody is going to see me as a successful man. If I'm a secretary, I'm a permanent secretary, I don't have fleets of car, I don't have money, I don't have wealth to show, nobody is going to see me as a successful person. Until I acquire material things, that is when people are going to respect me. That is when people are going to honor me. That is when people are going to bow down for me. That is when people are going to give me chieftaincy title. And this has nothing to do with the society itself. It has to do with the people themselves. So by the time you get to office, you are only displaying the attitude of the society. And that is why it is correct to say that every society gets the kind of leaders they deserve. That is the way I see it.
But are you familiar with the popular slogan or popular saying in Nigeria that, please, can you move towards me a little bit?
You mean me?
Yeah, like this, yeah, that way.
This way.
Yes, sir. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, good. So,
okay, sir.
But in Nigeria, have you not, what will you say about the popular mantra that says in Nigeria that, how do they say, that the problem of Nigeria is with leadership?
Yeah, in fact, I dealt with it in the book. I try to counter that a lot. I said, the problem is not leadership. The problem is our value system. Every society produces the kind of leaders that they deserve. So I dealt with it. In fact, there are chapters in the book, from chapter 1 to 5. It is all about the value system.
But
and
the book,
and how it produces.
You only sent me the summary of the book, right?
Yeah, I sent you. The full book is with me, and you can see me holding it. The book is a big book.
It's a big book. That's encouraging. That's good. You only sent me the summary, but I would like to.
Yes, sir.
Maybe when I see somebody coming from Nigeria, or do you have it on Amazon?
No, but if you want, I can DHL it to you so that you have a copy. The forward is written by Pastor Tunde Bakare.
Or if you have the electronic.
Yeah, I can also convert it to a PDF copy and send it to you.
Yes, or Word copy, anyone.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I will do a PDF first.
Okay, very good. Because I'm very impressed and I'm really surprised. There's a book I'm holding here. It's called Nigeria and the Leadership Question.
Okay then.
This is my argument in this book. That it's not such a big book as yours. It's
a big book. Yours is a big book.
It's about 300 pages, this one.
It's reasonably big.
Yeah, so it is. So what we are talking about here is very similar to what you are saying now. That the problem is not with Nigeria. It's not with leaders, but with the value system of our country.
Exactly.
So the fact that you are able to come to that conclusion, I will tell you, I'm really impressed. And now I think I get the answer. One of the answers that I've been able to get from you is that you ask questions.
Yes, sir.
You ask questions. So, and you have critical thinking. And it is only people who ask questions who get answers. Because most people just repeat. It's like a mantra in Nigeria. And everybody just repeats it.
Yes.
That our problem is leadership, our problem is leadership, our problem is leadership.
It's not true.
But it is the country that produces the leader. The leaders are not imported from somewhere.
They didn't fall from heaven.
They didn't fall from heaven. And they didn't just become leaders the first day they came here. They grew up here.
No.
They were formed here.
They grew up in society.
Yes, and it is
the society molded them.
Yes. And the value system that they are having that is corrupt, what we call corruption, is the value system of who the society has made them to be.
Exactly, sir.
And then the society itself is as corrupt as the leaders, only in their own place.
Yes, exactly.
The market women are cheating everybody.
We have the same thought pattern.
The taxi drivers are also cheating everybody.
It's everywhere. Even if you work in a private sector, if you are not crooked, you are not smart, they think you to be a fool. People think you are a foolish person.
So why do they complain then?
Because they are looking at the big man who is driving a jeep, who owns many houses, but they forget that they are part of the problem. That
they themselves are corrupt.
Yeah, they forget that. It is easier for a human being to accuse another person, but he doesn't look inward most times. So the idea of this book too is looking inward, looking at ourselves the way we are, and not just accusing people.
Beautiful. Now,
yes, sir.
Tell us about the title of this book. How did you come across this title?
The book is called, that is a very important question, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, the name of the book is called The Flames of Corruption.
Yes.
The Flames of Corruption. Now, I'm a bit younger than you, yes. But you remember that as a young man at that time, I remember that in the late 70s and 80s and early 80s, when a major fraud takes place in the ministry, in the government sector, and when a major fraud takes place, and the police or the authorities are trying to investigate, the next thing you will see, the place will go up in flames. The building, the accounts, starting with the account session, will just go up in flames. You remember the issue of NITEL?
It still happened of recent in Abuja now.
They will set the account session aflame. So the fire will start from there. So NITEL building, the tallest building in Nigeria at that time, fire started there. And Anambra State Broadcasting Corporation, they started the fire there. And other buildings like that in Nigeria, they were engulfed in flames of corruption. Because when they're about to discover, when people want to go and search and do investigation, they will say, no, the best thing, let us set fire. And in those days, the accounting system was paper-based. It's not computerized like now. So they just set all the documents ablaze, then there is no investigation. So we were engulfed in the flames of corruption. And the flame of corruption is still engulfing the country till today. It has not stopped. That's how I come about the title of the book.
Okay.
Now I see.
Now I can
the flames of corruption. Yes, sir.
Now, I have written a book here that is called How the Nigerian Economy Can Overtake the American Economy.
That is fantastic.
Yes, and the reason for that is because in this book, I provided the proof and the point that the reason is very simple, how Nigeria economy can overtake American economy. If you, in this book, I put forward a research that the UN did,
yes, sir,
and the World Bank, which says that in the years of independence, 55 years or 50-something years of independence of Nigeria, that Nigeria has lost to corruption $20 trillion US. That's the statistics from various sources. That's the statistics. So in this book, I'm saying if Nigeria has lost $20 trillion US, and the whole economy, the whole GDP of America is 19 trillion. Close to 20 trillion, about 20 trillion. And that is how much we have lost. Supposing we have a society that is healthy and normal, where we didn't lose all that kind of money to corruption, then the American economy, the Nigerian economy could have done what Chinese economy did in the last 20 years.
Exactly.
In the last 50 years, the Nigerian economy would have overtaken the American economy if the corruption had not been so perverse. And
yes.
So if all that wealth had remained in Nigeria, we would have been talking about United States of Nigeria.
Exactly.
So if that is the amount of money that was lost, and now 20 trillion, and now we don't even, our economy is not even up to 1 trillion.
No.
And America's economy in total is 20 trillion. So that is the basis for this my book, How Nigeria's economy can overtake American economy. And that is why I prove in this book, and I put a lot of structures like you, how Nigeria can fight corruption and conserve the money and become a country that will compete with America economically. So that's what my book is about, how Nigeria's economy can overtake America's economy. So, so how do you see the value system being spread?
There's at least a lot of work, and that is perhaps one of the reasons I'm talking to you today. We have to, first of all, we have to revise the thinking of people. For example, you have said that the common mantra is to say leaders are the problem, they are the corrupt people. What books like my book, The Flames of Corruption, is actually, first of all, to correct that notion, so that people will start looking inward, first of all. So we need an intellectual propaganda to bring to the mindset of people that really the problem is with us as a society. So we need to spread a campaign that we go to schools, a campaign that we go to universities, a campaign that we go to churches, a campaign mounted by traditional rulers so that campaign has to be that it's not the campaign that is intellectually driven in such a way that we have to change people's way of thinking. The way they see corruption has to be different. And that has to be through the kind of books you have written, the kind of book I'm holding in my hand now that I've written. That is what education can do for us.
Show us the book again.
That is it, yes, sir.
The Flames of Corruption.
Yes, sir.
So you said it can only be done by,
That is a starting point.
Okay.
That is a campaign is a starting point. Then we need to strengthen our laws. Then we need to strengthen the prosecution process. And apart from the laws being there, the laws need to have a bite. When you are caught in a fraud case or you are found to be corrupt, how does the judicial system handle the person at the end of the day? These are the things that I dealt with in this book. So I committed each chapter to different methods of fighting, using a campaign, using the law, using changing the mindset of people. So there has to be different ways of fighting corruption. In fact, the last 4 chapters is about the different methods of fighting corruption. The institutional strength, giving our institutions more strength, making them more alive. But all these things I'm mentioning, they boil down to the same problem. If the value system is weak, it definitely means that the person who is enforcing the law might not be able to do much. That is exactly where the problem comes from. You will have an EFCC, they tried, but they cannot do much as they do because we have a situation where there is a weakness in the way the people think, the way people see things. So that weakness has to be corrected. But again, we need to make some people scapegoats. At least if you get some people who have stolen government money and they are brought and they are made scapegoats, it will help to kill the spirit of corruption. So a lot of things need to be done. It is only when someone has to sit down and read my book from beginning to end to understand, for example, how corruption can be fought. So my idea is to make the book more valuable to people, and that's what I have not been able to do.
So, who are you? What do you do for a living?
I am an accountant, sir. I'm a professional accountant, ACCA qualified. So, I work in a place in Abuja here called Peniel Apartments. I am the finance manager.
So, so you didn't have experience in selling books?
Not necessarily. I don't have experience in promoting and selling.
In writing books too?
But writing, I'm a natural writer. I have so many books to write, but because this one has not done very well, that is why I'm handicapped.
So
I have many books.
Is this your first book?
This is my first major book, and I have a second one called Customer Service. That is this one.
That's more a professional book.
That's more of a professional book, yeah. But this one, then I have a third book on the table, which is called Roses for a New Millennium. That one has to do with if the value system are changed, what kind of leadership we will experience. That is purely on leadership. So that is I wanted to graduate from talking about corruption, then talking about leadership, and all of them.
Okay. Now, yeah. I see that you are now faced with the dilemma that all writers face.
Yes, sir.
That writing the book is just 10%, part one, maybe 40% of the job.
Maybe 20%.
Maybe 20%, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even though that's the most important thing.
Yes, sir.
But unfortunately, you still need to print it. After printing it,
yes,
then you need marketing.
Yes, sir.
And distribution.
And Nigerians are not, what do I say, they are not very good readers. But there are a set of people that still like reading among Nigerians.
But how do you find them?
Generally, people think they are too busy to read books. But I believe that if books like this are pushed to the young ones, like those in universities, they will have time to read them. Especially if they were made this. I think one of the things a professor, I have not met him directly in Nigeria, but it's a professor in America. He was thinking about, I don't have a personal contact with him, but somebody said he saw my book and he was interested in how the book can become part of GS subject in the university. So books like this supposed to be like compulsory subjects, to be made part of compulsory subject that every young man, every young woman who is growing up need to go through so that they can understand. In fact, the man was advocating that studying corruption should be a course in the university. So that because it's a problem that has eaten deep into the society. In fighting it, you cannot just use the law and the judiciary to fight it. You need a national orientation to fight. In fact, there is a chapter in this book that is about national orientation completely. So you need a national orientation to deal with the problem of corruption. And that has to be done through intellectual books like yours and mine.
So now, what are the efforts that you have put in place to make sure that the book goes round?
I have done a lot, sir. But there was a time I came to Abuja, tried to push the book to many offices. But despite the level of critical work that has been done on the book by at least 2 or 3 professors, Professor Lamika, the man who is the present Oluwasoye, the person who is the present ICPC chairman, has gone through this book. Professor Lamika has gone through this book. Tunde Bakare is the one who wrote it forward. Despite those critical efforts, people, then Dan Agbese also reviewed the book. Dan Agbese of former News Watch also reviewed the book. So a lot of people have contributed to this book to make it what it is today. Despite all those efforts, people can only read a little bit or read the entire of it and admire and say, oh, it's a good work. So on my own, I've gone to so many offices to drop the book, but the kind of response I received is not encouraging enough.
Were you dropping it for free?
No, I was not dropping it for free. I was expecting them to buy.
Okay, because you say if you give things for people for free, they will not value it.
Yes. And there was no money. It's only INEC that gave me #1 million. The money that INEC gave me, that's what I used in printing this.
So INEC is more interested in.
Yes, INEC was interested. He gave me money to like launch the book, but I needed to print first. So I used the money to print the book, and I printed about almost like 500,000 copies.
Wow.
500 copies. Sorry, 500 copies. 500.
Okay.
500 copies. Yeah, not 500,000, but 500.
Okay. So
yes,
how did you get Tunde Bakare to forward it for you?
Oh, it was very simple. I got to the church. I took it to, there's a lead pastor called Christian Ike, who is like his foremost pastor. Okay. So Christian Ike took the manuscript, read it. After reading it, he has no choice than to write it forward. He now told Tunde Bakare, yes. He said he called it a compendium on corruption. That's what Tunde Bakare called it. Yes. It was nice enough. It was good enough. He said I made all the points. I did all the work I should do. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was, yes, sir.
Now, so what about working with churches to spread the book?
That is excellent, but also you need encouragement. You need, the problem of Nigeria, when you are not, if you write a book and you are not high up there, people don't value it so much. But if you write a book and you are high up there, that's what I observe. And that's what many people have confirmed to me, that if you write a book and you are high up there and you have all the network, all the contacts, your book likely to be launched and promoted in a very big fashion. But I also feel that is not the purpose of a book. The purpose of a good book is to make sure that many people read it, especially every man on the street get to read it. That's my thinking too.
Did you try to contact the Ministry of Education?
No, I did not, but I tried to, I went to National University Commission and they were trying to provide a place for me to launch. And again, the funding is not there. That's another thing.
What do you mean funding? To launch book, you need funding?
Yes, if I was to launch, but like now, at first I was thinking that launching it would be a good idea. But I think putting it in the hands of many people would be a better idea.
Yes. So, okay, let's say this, the first part of this book, you are talking about corruption in Africa.
Yes, yes.
You started by the African value system.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
What is the African value system?
You know, before we have our own value system, traditional value system. You are not expected to tell lies. As you know, when we look at our rural communities and the way we grew up in our villages and localities, you're not expected to lie. You're not expected to take your neighbor's wife. In fact, people have told stories of, okay, if you were traveling on the highway, maybe in the 60s, if a person will drop his things to sell, you drop your tomatoes or banana or orange or mango, you leave them on the highway, they will remain there till the following morning. Those are our values. Then we respect others. We respect what belongs to others. We don't go and take something. If you steal, you might be disgraced. You can be naked. You'll be naked. You'll be flogged. You'll be embarrassed. You'll be molested. Those were our values. So our traditional value system was very, very strong, and the punishment for every crime is very harsh. So, in fact, to some extent, people were even being killed for doing the wrong thing. So those are our value system, and so this deter crime. It makes people to stay away from crime. People stay away from doing the wrong thing. People were focused on doing the right thing. But then the white man comes with his own civilization, which is a good idea. And the impact of the civilization is to change our laws, the way we see crime, the way we punish people, the way we handle when you are wrong, the way the society will handle you. It changed. The law became like hard evidence. If you cannot prove it in the law court, you cannot say the man is a criminal. So it's a gradual process. When the tax collectors, when the days of the tax collectors and the warrant chief, if you like those of us who study a little bit of political science and the government in secondary school, when those laws started coming up, you find out that a man who is a tax collector who collects collect the tax, he will remit some to government, he will take some for himself. And it's a gradual process. And as it gradually takes, I read No Longer at Ease as a little boy when I was in secondary school. And I saw how the society gradually grew from committing small crimes to crimes committed by politicians. And they were going free with crimes. So if you have a society where the enforcement is weakened by external forces, and then the traditional way of punishment was also changed because authority was transferred to a new set of rulers. In the village, the elders, the bale, the local chief, they are the one that enforce the law using the local system. You pay a fine, they deal with you, those kind of things. All those things were being destroyed when you now begin to rely on hard evidence. You go to court, you prove it. If you cannot prove it, you don't have a case. So that is how our value system deteriorated gradually until
is that what you call a twist face? A twist of fate?
A twist of fate, yeah. Yes, sir.
Is that the twist of fate?
Yeah, that's a twist of fate. It's a gradual process.
What about the emergent African value system?
You said what, sir?
What about the emergent African value system?
The emergent value African system is when now, as the days goes by, we begin to imitate the white man in almost everything he does. The way he dresses, the way he reasons, the way he celebrates words, the way everything about the white man, we begin to imitate it gradually. And so there is a fusion between the African value system and there is a fusion between the African value system and the colonial value system. That fusion leads to an emergent value system. You know, in psychology, in sociology, we are taught in sociology that when two opposite cultures, when they clash, they will produce a new culture. So gradually, we have a new culture, and the culture is being reflected in the language that was being spoken. The culture is being reflected in the professions that were being created. Instead of being a farmer, you find yourself to be an accounts clerk. Instead of being a native doctor, you find yourself to be a dispenser who dispenses drugs at the counter. So when two cultures clash, when two cultures merge, they will produce another culture. It's like a marriage. When two people come together, they produce a child. So that child that is being produced is called the emergent value system.
So what is negative about that emergent value system?
Because it does not belong to, it's not owned by anybody. It's standing on, it's like an orphan. It's standing on its own. For example, a Nigerian will do a traditional marriage, and is do a traditional marriage on Friday. Maybe let's say on Thursday we do a traditional marriage. Then on Sunday he will do a white wedding. You understand? So he's like a bat. He's not purely a white man. He's not purely a black man. So, and if you commit a crime, because of that emergent value system, when the authorities will seek to try you, you could hide under another auspices and say, okay, because I am a Christian or because I belong to this tribe. It brings a situation where there is another order that is different from the order that there is no one order. There are two orders. So you belong, for example, you belong to a political party. You belong to a political party. At the same time, you belong to your cultural group in the village. There is nothing wrong in it, but there is issue of loyalty. Between these two, there must be a place where your loyalty lies. And that is the issue with it.
Okay, so what is that now? Is that a body? Is that the body without soul, or the mirthless banquet?
It trickles down to both, sir. It trickles down to both. But the point is this: that we cannot use this interview to exhaust the content of a book like this. That just like you are pointing out the headings, that is it. Yeah, I have it here. I have my own. Right.
So how will you describe corruption?
Well, I will describe corruption. If it comes to describing corruption, I will describe it as there are so many ways to describe it. But we see corruption is first a disease of the mind. Disease of the mind, in that it is the way we think. That is what makes corruption. The way we think, the way we reason, the way we. So when a person is corrupt, his mind is diseased because he does not see anything good in doing the right thing. He feels that doing the wrong thing is the right thing. It is a system of where things are turned upside down. Things are not turned upside down. Wrong is counted to be good. Evil is applauded, and good is being defeated. And it's cancerous. That is when one person is doing it. Because the person in Nigeria particularly, when one person is doing it, the person goes unpunished, other people copy it. So it became systematic. Everybody buys into it in society, except a few who are so godly, who are so pious, who think differently.
So what is the role of the church in fighting corruption?
So that is the biggest problem, sir. The church is supposed to stand up to fight corruption. They are the ones. First of all, starting with the pulpits, they're supposed to preach against corruption. Then, apart from preaching against corruption, the practices and the values of the church need to be upheld to deter corruption. But what we see in Nigeria today is not always so. It's a bit different. So the church has the biggest role to play, because if you say, let us say in Nigeria, from my own analysis, if you say 55% to 60% of Nigerians are Christians, and all of us, one way or the other, must go to church on Sunday, 55 to 60, and Muslims, let's say 40 to 45 are Muslim, Nigerian Muslims. the church can start a fight against corruption by making sure that the campaign against corruption, the preaching is directed and skewed towards dealing with the ills of society, talking against it, preaching against it, and the practices in the church should uphold righteousness, even in public office. But that is not the case today. If people have government money, they have government money in their portfolio, they come to the church to lavish it. The church will even celebrate them. These are some of my pains, personal pains. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many people have you met like yourself who are pained or who are sorrowful, who are mourning about corruption in Nigeria?
Just a few youths, a few young men, a few young women, a few young women. Just very few, sir. I can say very few. Most places where you go, in fact, in my own state, it will interest you to know that I'm from Delta State. So I have not mentioned that since I'm from my own state. In fact, if you talk about people being corrupt, people will think you are the most foolish man on earth. Why would you say that it is wrong to steal government money? They don't believe, in my place particularly, people don't believe that it is wrong to steal government money. They believe that is the norm. In fact, a young man, in fact, I was in the ministry. I have to leave. I have to resign from the ministry. I was in Delta State House of Assembly. I have to resign from Delta State Assembly. On my coming back to Nigeria, I felt it's not a place for me to go and work because I don't want to dent myself. I have to stay away.
What about the guy that was prosecuted in London?
That is Chief Onanefe Ibori.
Ibori, yes.
He's our governor. I'm a former governor.
Oh, you are from that state?
Yes, sir.
That is not a good definition, though.
Yes, sir, but that's no. Some people are different. People are different. People are different.
People are different, but he was the governor.
Yes, he was the governor of the state.
It was the face of
for
the
8
state.
Years. Yeah, it was the face of the state, and it's still the face of the state today.
No, you mean it?
Yes, I'm sure.
No, but how can it be the face of the state today when he has been jailed and prosecuted and found guilty?
Because even when he was in prison, he was determined who will become a commissioner, who will become even the governor, who will become a local government chairman, who will get any office in Nigeria, in the Delta State, was being determined and is still being determined by him till today.
How?
The politics in Nigeria is an undercurrent. It's not something that
they play. No, but the guy was in prison.
Even when he was in prison. Even when he was in prison.
So this is confirming
He's the one who have the succession plan of the state. Who becomes the next leader or ruler in Delta State is the one who has the key.
So it is true what you said, that in your state then, what you just said about your state then is true. That people will think you are foolish if you are not stealing from the government covers.
Yes, of course. But everybody thinks you are a stupid person if you cannot steal money. But if you don't know how to steal money,
because I saw that after this Ibori came back to Nigeria, people were celebrating him in his own town.
Of course. Yes, of course. In fact, it was a carnival when he returned back to Delta State. Everybody celebrated him. Remember that in 2007, thereabout, he was being tried in Kaduna. And when he was being tried in Kaduna, the whole state has to move. The person who that's in 2007, the president, the current governor at that time, the speaker, everybody has to go to Kaduna to support him. You understand? It's a culture. Corruption is a culture. That's why we're talking about value. That's really, you can actually see that corruption is a value-driven thing. It's what the people believe in. It's what the people buy into. That is the way they celebrate. They celebrate who is who. Celebrate success. That's the way they celebrate success.
No, but when the guy was when people were challenged, people from Delta State who were celebrating him, when they were challenged, they said, "But Naim only they steal. Why don't they catch other people?"
Of course, that is the question they will ask you, because they benefited he made a lot of people through that corruption. He made a lot of people. He made who is going to be a commissioner. Even the person who is governor today, he made him. Without him, the man cannot become governor. And people are still thinking that the next, after the rule of this person, he will still be the determining factor that will produce the next governor. So you cannot, so you can hardly function politically in Delta State without him. You may not be able to function politically without his help, or without his contact, or without his connection. And that is the big challenge we have not only in Delta State, but I think in the whole country, because one outgoing evil trying to install another outgoing incoming evil. That's what is going on in the politics of Nigeria.
Okay.
But I think
in every other state, okay, we can say none of them has been prosecuted and found guilty, apart from the Alemasiaga that died.
Yeah, he was found guilty. He was prosecuted. But you find that everyone that has been heavily prosecuted and found guilty was the handwork of the man he may have offended. That's exactly what happened. You know, Ibori was not favorable to Jonathan when Jonathan was vice president. So eventually when Jonathan became the president, he made sure that he dealt with him. That was the issue. And if you trace the problem of Almasia, he was also among those crusading for resource control. So Obasanjo took it upon himself to deal with him. So even when he was in London, that's what happened. Yeah. I have the book also, my book also deals with a lot of history from 1960 to 2007 on successful leadership.
So you talking about corruption from Delta State, a lot of people will be just looking at you as strange then.
I'm very strange, sir. I'm very strange. I'm not praising myself, but I'm a bit strange. I'm different.
In that sense, eh?
Yes, sir.
But what about the churches there?
Well, the churches don't have a determined program. You know, the problem of Nigerian Christians that we don't have a determined program on how to fight corruption. We can only talk about it, we can only discuss about it. Like this book I have here, I expected that, for example, the man who helped me to write the foreword, we play a role in making sure, so that since he was so comfortable with reading the book, and the book was good, we play a role in trying to see that copies are produced and given to people. That is one of the first way we can start, apart from going to the government. Another thing I see that is very, very important is for Christians, is to encourage Nigerian Christians to go into politics. But before you go into politics, before they go into politics, we must arm them with the right values. We must arm them with the right values. And that is teaching the word of God as it is. We must uphold righteousness. And that is what is not being done in our churches. We must fight for righteousness. So that's where the church comes in. But the church does not have a program, does not have a particular program, a specific program against corruption. That one I can confess. They don't have such a program.
People are already writing here now on this program that how can they get the book?
Oh, getting the book is, well, I have to think about it. I have to talk. I don't know whether they want the physical copy. If they want the physical copy, then we have to mail it to them. We have to send it to them.
Where should they write you to?
Sir?
Where should they write you to?
Well, my current address.
Is it, you have Facebook page?
I have, sir.
What's your Facebook, please?
My Facebook page.
What's the name?
The name is, I don't have that. I myself with that. But
your Facebook.
If you put my name,
yes.
If you put my name, I will come up. Peter Okrosa.
Is that the name of your Facebook page?
Yeah, that should be. Yeah.
Okay. You don't go there often or what?
I don't go there often.
Okay. But what about if they inbox you, if they write you?
Well, another thing that you can use is my email.
Okay, what is your email?
My email is Okrosa Peter at gmail.com.
Okrosa.
Yes, Peter.
Okrosa Peter.
Yeah, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, so if you email me on this, if you email me.
Your name is like, it's sounding like Okro.
Yes, sir, that's it.
Okrosa.
Yes, sir.
Okrosa Peter.
At gmail.com.
And then your Facebook also will be Peter Okrosa, or is
Peter
it Okrosa Peter?
Peter Okrosa.
It's Peter Okro. Anybody that knows Okrosa.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. But you are in the accountancy.
Yeah. I'm an accountant. I'm a finance manager.
Maybe what made you is not just the fact. What made you different from all the Delta people? I think maybe it's your parents or your upbringing or what?
Two things, I think. My father was that kind of person that doesn't believe in doing things the wrong way. My father has a lot of influence on me, apart from Christianity. Then I became a Christian at a very tender age. That's another thing. That was then the kind of books I read also parted of me. I read books written by people like A.W. Tozer, Charles Finney. Those are my best authors.
If not secret, can you share with us the church you go to?
Well, currently I'm a member of Redeemed Christian Church of God, where the general overseer is here at the Goyi.
Okay, that's in Lagos or in Abuja?
Anywhere I am, Redeemed is spread all over the country.
Do you know that I'm in trouble with your Redeemed people now?
I'm not very advised.
Or they are in trouble with me?
And I don't follow. I believe my type of Christianity. I believe in personal commitment. I don't follow the big names. I come to worship God, and I'm with God, and God is my Father. God is my friend. I relate with Him as my Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. By the grace of the Holy Spirit, that is how I go. I don't really look at the big names. So I stay in my house and do all the long prayers I need to pray from morning till evening.
So you value more personal relationship with God than...
Because that is where the strength is.
I think you're right.
The strength to live as a Christian.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. You will find it interesting to see, but to definitely please find a way to... I think I shouldn't tell you to find a way. There is a lady if you read through the comment section after on, you will see telephone number of a lady called Chioma in Lagos. For the DSA family, people they know her. She's the only Chioma they know in Lagos. I know there are thousands of Chiomas in Lagos, but she's the most famous Chioma in Lagos. So the telephone number will be there in the comment section. Please, I want to recommend for you to get this book. It's called Nigeria and the Leadership Question.
Okay, sir.
Profiling solution to Nigeria's leadership problem. You will be shocked at the fact that, we are talking the same language. And I'm very encouraged that you are the first Nigerian that I have met that is addressing the core problem of this country as the value system, rather than just playing blame game. Another book that will help you here is how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. It's also about corruption.
Okay.
Yes, but then I have another book which is called How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World.
Okay, sir.
That's not about corruption. That's about the potential of Nigeria. And then this one, only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. Not be God, though. We have to play our part too.
Okay, sir.
So, but that's just by the way. So to get your book, we just need to go to Peter Okrosa.
Yes, you can. We have to set up. I don't know whether if it's possible to send me anybody. I'm not saying you particularly, but any of your assistants who have their phone contact, so I could call.
Nigeria is based on phone, but we don't use phone so much here. So people will just be going to your page. People would rather go to your Peter Okrosa page on Facebook, and they will write you. They will inbox you.
Okay.
For example, everybody is always asking for my telephone number. Do you know I don't have telephone?
Okay.
Me, I don't use telephone number. I think that because the technology works here, no internet, no network problem.
Okay.
So I don't need telephone.
Okay. So, but it's different here in Nigeria. Okay. That's why we base so much on phone. But no problem.
But they can also use your Gmail now.
Yes.
And your Gmail is Okrosa Peter.
Yes. And maybe I need to put the book on Amazon, on things like that. So
yes, there is Amazon. I put my own on Amazon and Okada Books. Okay. So yes, enough in Nigeria there is something they call, it's like the Amazon also, but in Nigeria it's called OkadaBooks.com.
Okay.
And then Amazon, Okada, yeah, like the one you ride. Okada, okay. Yes.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
OkadaBooks.com they call it.
Okay.
And then you can put your books there, and then you can also put your book on Amazon.
Okay.
And you don't need money to do that.
Okay.
You don't need money to do it. It's for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I'm very glad and I'm very encouraged by the fact that you understand these questions. But yes, people tell me that in Nigeria it's not possible to live without corruption. That you cannot live, that you cannot be in business, or you cannot work and live in Nigeria and not be corrupt.
And it's not true. So there are still very good people. The woman we work for here, who owns the business we run, the woman is very pious. She's trying her best to do the right thing.
What is the company? Is it an accountancy company?
No. It's Peniel Apartments.
What?
Peniel Apartments Limited. Peniel Apartments.
Property? You mean property business?
It's a property business that is linked with hospitality.
Okay.
We don't sell. There's no alcohol. There is no women coming here. You just take a place. Most of the pastors, they use this place as pastors, top politicians, people from NGOs, the embassies. It's a quiet place.
Okay, it's just a building.
It's not one building. It's having about 4 blocks. So people come and stay as residents.
So it's an apartment complex. We call it apartment complex. Yeah.
Yes.
But what are you calling it? Penny rental? Or what do you call it?
Peniel Apartments.
Okay,
Peniel Apartment Limited.
That is just the name of the company.
Yeah, Peniel. P-E-N-I-E-L. Peniel, a place of rest.
Ah, okay. P-E, Peniel.
Yeah, Peniel. Okay. In the Bible.
Yes.
The book of Genesis.
So you said she's very pious.
She's trying her best. She's most unlike. She's unlike most people.
Yeah, but she's pious for her own business now.
No, personal life. Pious for personal life.
Okay, this Peniel business, is it just in Abuja, or is it in Lagos or other places too?
Mainly Abuja. It's okay. Part of it is in Lagos, but the main place is in Abuja.
Okay. So you are the
finance manager. Finance manager. We have accountants, but I'm the finance manager.
But you've not been in business?
I've been in business. I work all through in businesses. I've been a group financial controller in Silverbird. I work in S&Young. I've worked so much in the private sector as a finance person.
Private sector, but not in business, though. As a finance person, but not in business. You've not been an entrepreneur, I mean.
I've not been full time, and I've only started entrepreneurship 2014, and I had an accident that stopped me. So I went back to work again. But all the ethics of an entrepreneur, an accountant must learn them, because you work with businessmen. If you are an accountant, you are automatically a businessman, because you are the one that lead the businessmen. You are the one that give them strategy. You are the one who tells them what to do and what not to do. You are the one that tells them the pitfall they have to avoid. You are the one that gives them strategy. You are the one who gives them direction. You are the one that helps them to manage their money. You are the one that tells them spend here, don't spend there. So the work of an accountant is very deep. Okay. It's very, very deep.
So you said, are you interested in politics?
Well, if I have a means of entering politics and making a lot of people better, Why not?
Why not? How can you do it when you are from a police state and you are not it's like you are not going to support him?
I'm not going to support him. Definitely, I will not support him. I have to look for a more conservative and neutral party that does not believe, that is ready to fight. That, you see, the political parties in Nigeria, you cannot find one that is totally clean, but at least you can find one or two that wants to think aright. The whole thing starts from the thinking, from the objective of the political party.
But are you not too good for that? Maybe you are too good for politics.
Not necessarily, but you see, when you serve, that is the problem we have in Nigeria. We Christians, we think that we are too good to be in politics. And because we think we are too good, we let evil multiply. Yes. Because the more you allow the unbelievers to be in politics, the more evil will multiply. Yes. But the more you have more Christians coming in and challenging what is on ground, the better for the society.
Yeah, you are talking the language. It's like you have read my books or you've been listening to me. You are very correct.
These are my personal convictions, sir. And though I will read your books later, but these are my personal convictions.
Yeah,
I've always been saying that. I've always been saying that we need more Christians in politics. We need more. When we go, the failure rate has been high, but it does not stop. It's like, you are sending an army to the war front. When they go, they will kill some, but it does not stop you from sending more soldiers to the war front. That is what politics is all about. Okay. Christians go into politics.
Why did you decide to contact me?
Sir, I decided to contact you because I saw you have the National Transformation Program. And in that National Transformation Program, one of your objectives is to fight corruption in Nigeria. Because I believe that you are convinced that one of the biggest problems in Nigeria and Africa is corruption.
But you don't know about that. You don't know me enough to know. How did you hear about me? What do you know about me?
I had a pastor friend here in Abuja here. When I was promoting the book, that's when I knew him. When I came to Abuja to promote the book, 2016, I met him. It's called Apostle Israel. So he was the one that said, this your book will be very good that if Dr. Sunday Adelaja will get hold of your book, he's going to assist you somehow. That's how I got to know.
Okay. Are you surprised that I invited you to give you a platform to talk about this?
I am not surprised because he has told me that you are an anti-corruption person.
That guy told you that?
Yes. And when I read the National Transformation, the little bit I read about it on the website is fighting corruption is one of your objectives. So I felt I should team up forces with you. And he said, you are coming to Nigeria to come and work in Nigeria, to come and help transfer. I also watch you when you say you are going to fight crime in Nigeria. You are going to do a lot of things now. So I want to be part of your team. That's why I decided to forward my book to you as a means of trying to see how I can work with you. My objective is actually to see how I can work with you. It's not just to promote my book, but the book is like a contact to know that you have a like mind somewhere. Because it's books that make people to connect. Even those who want to do bad things. When Hitler wrote his major strategy to take on the world, he wrote it while he was in prison. Even Obama has penned down his thoughts in prison. When he was a professor, before he came out to become a president. So books are the way to link with people. That is why I felt I should contact you.
Yeah, interesting. I'm very impressed by your thoughts, and for sure, you have really proved to me that God is always having remnants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you have not heard about it, it might not be also a challenging thing for you now to tell anybody that you are associated with Pastor Sunday Adelaja, because then you are going to be attacked.
Yes, sir.
Because right now I am doing a lot of series that is challenging the church.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay, but many people.
I watch on YouTube.
Okay, but many people don't like that, I think, from the comments I'm receiving. So that's why I'm saying, if you are going to associate yourself with Pastor Sunday, you get ready for war.
Well, it's normal with when you are trying to do good. Christ was attacked because he want to preach righteousness, because he want people to see things from the right perspective. It's always like that. If you want to, if Jesus said something, he said, "Woe unto you when the people are praising you." He said that blessed are you when men persecute you, and that is when they are persecuting you for doing the right thing, for saying the right thing. People will naturally hate somebody who wants to stand up for righteousness. It's normal because human nature is evil. It's not. There's no time that human nature is pure, except the gospel comes to the person. The person accepts it in totality.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm sure people will go and look for you on your Facebook page, and some of them will write you on Gmail.
Yes, sir.
Gmail, and you also find Shioma's telephone number over there in the comment section.
Okay.
But it's been nice talking to you. What is the question that I didn't ask you that you would have liked me to ask you?
Yes, the question I would have liked to know how you are going to deal with the issue of corruption in Nigeria. That is one.
Okay. So you are asking the question now.
I'm asking you now.
Okay.
Well, because you spoke a lot about crime, on YouTube you said a lot about crime. So how do you want to deal with the issue of corruption in Nigeria? Because you didn't really say how you want to deal with the issue of corruption in Nigeria. And then for those of us who are struggling to come up to say we want to fight corruption either through writing or any means, how useful will you be to? How will we fit into your national transformation program? And then what role shall we play in that regard?
Well, number one, let me first of all tell you what I think about you and about your work, if you don't mind. Then I will answer your questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Number one thing I think about you is that God has blessed you with good material and good resources, and you have good information and good material that is going to be helpful in transforming the country and ridding the country of corruption.
Yes, sir.
But I must also tell you, not to embarrass you, but to tell you the truth. I'm always like that. I like to be a truth teller, especially if I know that you are open to the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I think is that even though God has blessed you with this information and you have the right information and you are a pious person yourself, but you are naive.
Okay.
You are naive about the challenge that you are taking up on yourself.
It could be. Yes, I understand that.
And the first proof of that naiveness is the fact that you wrote an excellent book that took you 7 years to write. Is it 7 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the book that took you 7 years to write. Naivety is what made you not to have a strategy to be able to sell even 500 copies.
Yes, sir. Possibly, it's lack of experience.
Okay. For example, in my own case, I am not selling books as a priority because that's not my priority. My own priority is different. My own priority is to write because I have so much inside. I need to bring out so much. I need to bring them out. So that's why I'm not selling. But if I focus on selling, I bet you nobody will sell more books than me if I really want to sell. So, but in your own case, because I'm not focusing on selling now because I'm not in Nigeria yet. But I want to get, by the time from next year we're getting into now, from February, March, you'll begin to pay attention. Because I'm getting ready for Nigeria the more I come closer. So I will begin to also distribute the book. But we must think about the distribution of your book. That is the number one area where I see that you are naive. Because it's that naiveness that, that made you to write such a wonderful book. A book that can transform Nigeria. And nobody knows about it.
It's difficult, sir. It's not only naivety. It's difficult. Resources are not. The issue of resources, contacts, networking. These are the issues.
Okay. Okay, that's number one. Number two, another reason why I think that you are naive is that when the man wrote the forward for you,
yes, sir,
you are too good and you are too innocent. And that is part of naiveness and naivety. Because you are thinking that since the man wrote the forward for you, he should be in a place to also help you to promote it, to also help you promote the book. But the guy wrote the forward and he didn't promote the book, and you are shocked. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir. Can I answer that?
Yes.
Okay. This first point you made is correct.
I can't see you. I can't see you again, no?
You can't see me again because they took light right now, and they will restore it in 5 minutes.
You mean NEPA?
But we have standbys. It will be restored. Let's give ourselves 2 minutes. It will be restored. So you can see the problem we go through in this country. So it's good you are experiencing it over there. You are not feeling it, but I am here right inside darkness. But I can see you laughing. I can see you everything. Thank God for technology.
Thank God at least that you can see.
The light is back now.
Okay.
So you can see me now.
I was not yet, but I think I will be able to. Don't worry. So you wanted to respond?
Yes. The first point, you were very correct on the first point. That, my idea is that since the book is a good book, it will sell itself. But it's not so in Nigeria. That's the first part of naivety. Then the second point is that I was not too disappointed that the man did not help me to promote the book. Because I believe also that by writing, Tunde Bakari is a very well-known preacher and respected preacher in Nigeria. By writing the book, he has done so much for me because it will help me, it will help people to associate with me.
Now I can see you again now.
Yes, sir. It will help people to associate with me. So writing the forward was like a promotion for me. That is it. So I didn't really feel offended that he did not come to my aid financially or otherwise.
Okay, let me tell you also another area where I feel that you are naive.
Yes, sir.
Because God has blessed you with a good book and you have done your research.
Yes, sir.
And you wrote a good work. You think you have done what is needed to do.
No, I did not stop there. I tried to promote the book. If I did not try to promote the book, INEC would not give me ₦1 million. It was my effort that brought me to that level. A lot of people, some people supported, but all those it's just that this level of support is not enough to take the book to where it should be. That's the point.
Okay.
It's not that I didn't try. I tried, but the level of support. Let me tell you something. Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, when they saw the book, they said, "Oh, we will assist you to get more copies out." But for the past 1 year, they've been telling me the federal government has not released overhead expenditure to them, and that has been the story. In almost all government functionaries in Abuja here, you understand. So there is also the problem of the economy, and the problem of whom you know, problem of who you don't know, problem of contacts, connections, and other things like that. So those are the challenges. I think it's more of challenges than more of naivety. It's not that I'm being naive or something like that. Well, that could play a role, but it's not a significant role. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, so now the question that you have for me is that number one question is, how do I plan to tackle corruption in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
That's your number one question.
Yes, sir.
For those two questions, for you to get answers to those two questions, you must read these two books. There are two books.
Okay.
One is called How the Nigerian Economy Can Overtake the American Economy, and the other one is called Nigeria and the Leadership Question.
Okay.
Okay. So then what is the second question?
The second question is how can people like us become team members in the National Transformation Project, which you have?
I'm sure you have already registered on the on my website, right?
Yes, sir, I've done that.
Okay. Now, that is number one thing for you to be. We need to have your details, which you have done already. Number
Yes,
two
sir.
is that we need to see what you are bringing to the table. In your own case, I can already see what you are bringing to the table, and
yes, sir.
I see your book, and I see
yes,
that
sir.
you are a honest man.
Yes, sir.
But having said that, you are a Nigerian also. You still remain a Nigerian in the sense that a typical Nigerian, like say in this country, for example, I have one here too. When I try to tell them something, and not just me, and when I try to tell them, anybody try to tell anybody, to challenge any Nigerian, or to tell any Nigerian that has lived most of his life in Nigeria, if you try, or a black man, even black Americans, if you try to correct them or try to tell them something that is correctional or that is that is a little bit challenging, they will think that you are challenging them. They will think that you are affronting them. They will take it as a challenge, as an affront. So they want to justify themselves. They want to clear their name. They want to clear their good name. So they want to clear their good name by defending themselves, by saying no, what you said is not also like that. It is like the way they see it. But what does that tell me? That is telling me about the complex that black man has. The black man has the complex of defending himself all the time. That is why you see black people get into trouble in America, in England, because we want to defend ourselves. You say, anything you tell, say, no, sir, you think I'm thinking bad about you. But no. So in your own case, it's not. I see that, like I said, I've seen the book. I see that, like I've told you, I've not seen any Nigerian that is able to pinpoint the problem with Nigeria corruption situation. You are the first one I'm seeing like that. And I also see that you are a person of purity and holiness, sincerity. But, like I said, there are deficiencies that I'm seeing that you will need to work on. And the reason I'm saying it is because, not just that I'm an older man, but I'm an experienced person in that area.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so where can I use you? For example, ideally, I would have liked to use you to form an NGO that will lead a fight against corruption in Nigeria. But because of the deficiencies that I said I saw, I cannot do that.
Okay.
I'm going, unless you see it yourself and begin to work on them. But as long as you are going to be defending yourself, I'm not going to bother myself too.
Okay.
I will just allow you to defend yourself. And then I will only use your book. Because for you to overcome corruption in Nigeria, there must be a place for strategy. And that is what I see missing.
Yeah, there must. Sir, I don't want to defend myself. It's not about defending myself. It's about telling you the truth as well. You understand? When I wrote this book and I want to bring it out, I have 3 strategies. 1, to launch it. 2, to use it for a campaign strategy. To use for a campaign in campuses and other places. The third one was to sell. The third idea was to sell. But in doing all these things, you need some level of mobility. That is just the point. So it's not that, you could have a strategy. The strategies have to be driven. And strategies are not driven by only humans. They're also driven by resources. If this appear to be self-defense, I don't know why you feel that. That is I'm just telling you my mind. That's just
at least I like you so much, and I like the fact that you possess such virtues that few of my countrymen possess. So you've already passed the back. But
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
for us to work together, we will still need to work together on some things.
Yeah, I need to be close to you.
Yes.
That is, if for a child to grow up, you need to be close to his father.
Uh-huh.
You cannot be far away from somebody and be like him.
Yes.
So if you want me to be like you, you need to draw me closer somehow.
Yes, you're right.
Despite my deficiency.
No, everybody has deficiencies, including me. All of us.
You know, Peter has potentials. Christ saw the potentials in him. He decided to work on the potentials.
Yes.
And I think every time I liken myself to the Peter in the Bible, I'm somebody who's full of ideas, ideology, resources, potentials. But I know that I need to be worked upon. I need to be taken up somehow.
Yes.
That's the way I see myself.
Like I said, you already passed the mark. By the grace of God, I plan to come to Nigeria in the near future. I don't know when that will happen yet, but whenever that happens, I really look forward to be able to work with you. If you'll be ready for work, for hard work, and for improvement, for self-improvement, then because ideally, it would have been good to put you at the forefront of the fight against corruption, but you must be stronger in some other areas. And if you want to know the areas you have to be strong in, we have to sit down together and talk about it, or be trained in that area, so that you will be surely successful in those areas.
I'll be with you, sir.
Okay. But I want to commend you. So then you have the third question for me.
The third question, the conclusion nearly answered it. When are you coming to Nigeria? Okay. That's almost the third question.
Okay. Yes, I will not. Maybe I'm not going to guarantee that I will be in Nigeria next year, but I want to. My whole heart and being is in Nigeria already. I want to be in Nigeria even now. But by next year, by the grace of God, the whole of Nigeria will be hearing me and feeling me. I've not even started right now work on Nigeria, but from next year, I will begin to make my presence felt in Nigeria.
Okay, sir. When you come to Nigeria and work in Nigeria, sir, I want to be part of your team.
Yes.
I want to be close to you. I want to work with you.
I think it's a good idea. I would like to be like people like you, and I want Nigeria to have more people like you, and exactly. I want as many people in Nigeria to read your books. I want all Nigerians to read your book.
Okay. So meanwhile, I think I will mail the PDF copy to you. And anybody that wants a copy.
I would like to read it myself. They took the light again. I think they took the light again, though.
Exactly, they brought it back again. Those are the problems we are coming to fight in Nigeria.
You are right.
And you need to come as early as possible.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So Nigeria's situation needs help, eh? Urgent.
Nigeria needs help. Nigeria needs help. The churches need help. The churches need reorientation. They need to have a mind. They need to have a change of mindset.
But they are not ready to receive.
You have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. You will remember that when the Pentecostal movement started in Nigeria, also in the 60s, 70s, people were laughing at them. People were criticizing them.
Yes.
But they are the mainstream of Nigerian Christianity. That is how every fight starts.
Yes.
Every fight starts from somewhere. Somebody must spearhead it. Transformation must be spearheaded by everybody and by somebody. And I'm happy that a man of God from the Church of Jesus Christ is coming from, because you have gone outside, you have seen a different world, you are coming to bring that to Nigeria. Many of the pastors in Nigeria, they don't see what you are seeing. They don't see what you are seeing, but I thank God that you're being outside. I've heard so much about you from my friends, even before I started contacting you. I've heard that you have turned, the largest church in Ukraine, the largest church in Ukraine. But not only that, you have made many people millionaires. You have turned their lives around. They told me that people come to your church with rag, but they go out with riches. So it is a mindset. It's a mindset that wants to help. And that is what I want to be associated with, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Peter, thank you so very much. Thank
you, sir.
Thank you for contacting me. And I want to thank God on your behalf. I want to thank God that God is still telling me that I shouldn't give up.
You should not.
Yes.
If you come to Nigeria, you will see a lot, not me, not only me, you will see thousands of you to work with. I promise you that. You will see thousands of you to work with.
How many of
Not
them?
just me.
How many of
Not
them?
just me.
How many of them will you point to by the time? How many of them can you yourself? How many list of how many people like that can you find?
I think I can find 50.
Or
maybe
10,
50.
maybe 10.
Maybe between 10 to 30 or 50. I can find some, but not as much. You can still find some good people. Like the person that brought me to Abuja here still have that mindset that yes, Nigeria we need to live better than this. That a lot of people wish. What you need mostly is somebody to stay in the front and say, we can make things better, we can live better, we can work better, and other people will come and join you. It might surprise you until you are on ground. So I am praying you that you should not delay your comment.
I'm saying that now, and you said other people will come and join.
Yeah, they will join. They will join me and they will join you.
No, but I am saying that we need to exactly what you said I should say is what I'm saying. Yeah. But nobody is,
yes,
I mean, people are not coming to join me in a hurry. People are standing to watch what will happen. And other people
they will not be watching you. They will join you. Don't worry. They are not the people. A lot of people will join you. A lot of people will join you.
I just see another aspect of you that you are a typical Nigerian.
That was I am positive.
Yes.
I'm positive that people will join you. I know that they will join you.
A typical Nigerian is positive to the end.
Yes, I'm positive. People will join you. You don't have to be discouraged at all. Not at all. Not 1 minute. There will be people that will be. There are people watching out to see a voice that will come out. You know, the problem is that people are mesmerized. They feel defeated. They feel that there is nobody. You understand? There is no help. And that's where the problem is coming from. You know, when people feel on the political, the moral, the social angle, that there's nobody standing for them. But when they see a major figure come out, they will stand with him.
You know what I think, rather? You are positive, yes, but me, I'm not as positive as you.
No, but I know I'm in this country. I know how people feel.
And that's why you're in Nigeria now, because they live there.
Yes, I know how people feel. I know the pains that Nigerians go through. And I know that if they have an alternative, they will gladly jump at it.
No.
There are those who are steeped in corruption. That's no doubt. But there are those also that want a change.
Now, let me tell you what I think.
Yes,
I think that all of them in Nigeria want a change. All of them want.
Except those who are eating fat that doesn't want to change.
Okay, apart from those ones, all the ordinary people want to change.
They want to change.
They want change.
Yes.
But the problem is, all of them that want change, they don't want to change.
They don't want what?
You see, that's the problem. Every Nigerian is dreaming of change.
Yes, sir.
And they want to see change in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
But they don't know that change requires for them to change. So everybody wants change, but they don't want to change.
That is one. We are correct on that one. They themselves don't want to change, and they are naive about change because change has a price.
Now you are talking. so for example, I saw. Now you are talking. We are talking. Now, you see, I saw an advert on Facebook yesterday. A poster.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people, they put up the photograph of one young Nigerian man that they all respect and all of them celebrate. They are called, no, I don't want to mention his name now. They are saying, this man for 2019, this man for 2019. So, and I'm thinking, they said because it's the new generation, he's the new voice. This guy he has integrity, he can bring, is what Nigeria needs. We need a new voice, we need third wave, okay. But I am telling myself that these people that are clamoring for this guy, and the guy himself said, I don't want to contest. But everybody is saying, contest, you are the one, you are the new one. But the guy said, I don't want. Now, But I know the truth that all those people who are saying we need a new voice, we don't want the old something, we need a new voice. All of them they don't know they are naive about what they're asking for.
Yeah, that's the point.
Now, because if any new person or new voice or new wave will come on stage in Nigeria, I will not believe them. I will not believe any new person that comes on in Nigeria and promises a better future. But I will only believe anybody that comes on and challenges every Nigerian to change. I will only believe a Nigerian that comes forward to tell them that I'm bringing you pain. I am bringing you discomfort. I am bringing you, a challenge. I am going to challenge you to pay the price. You must change. Only that one that is telling them they must go through the pain of change, only that one I believe is a new voice. All other person is the same.
Yeah, I agree with you to a great extent. So, because for change to take place, we have to pass through pain. We have to tell ourselves the truth. We have to live by the truth. And living by the truth is not easy because you will get hurt. A lot of people will get wounded along the line. And it's difficult because you are going to be confronting principalities and powers.
No, I think the principality and power is the principality and power in each person who wants change and don't want to change.
No, yes, I agree with you, but there are powers that be as well that will not want to hear that. Yes.
Nigerians always like to point finger at other people, that those are the people to be blamed. Those are the people that are responsible. Those are the ones to change.
Yes. I don't believe in that too much. I believe that.
No, but you believe in it a little bit because the power that be, for me, the power that be is the individual Nigerian that doesn't want to change his mind.
That is where a campaign strategy, we need to adopt a campaign strategy, a national orientation program to change the mindset of people.
They want to know your contact again. Let me give them your contact. His contact is Peter Okrosa.
No, Okrosa Peter.
Okrosa Peter. Okrosa is Okrosa. Okrosa
Peter at gmail.com.
Yes, Okro. Yes. OKROSA. Okrosa Peter at gmail.com. Or you can go to his Facebook, Peter Okrosa.
So, or you can go to my phone number as well. +234 081 64 73 53 35.
Say it again, please.
+234 81 64 73 53 35.
You are from Delta State. What is your nationality there? What is your, what do they call it? What do you call them? What's your nationality? You have nationality, right? Like
ethnic group.
Ethnic group, yes.
Okay, ethnic group. My ethnic group is Anisoko stroke Kwale.
What?
Kwale stroke Isoko. If you heard one tribe called Urobo.
Urobo. I know Urobo.
No, the one you call Urobo, they are Urobo and Isoko is their cousins. Yeah, so if you see an Urobo man, you are likely to be an Isoko man.
I know Urobo, I know Isoko, but you mentioned another one now.
It's called Kwale.
Kwale.
That's Igbo, Delta Igbo speaking.
Okay, but we call them Delta Igbo.
They don't even accept they are Delta Igbo. They are Kwale. Because it's another small ethnic group. Okay.
It's different from Delta Igbo.
They are part of Delta Igbo, but they don't accept politically. They may not accept that.
That is like Sunday Olise. The people were calling Sunday Olise Igbo. He said, "No, I'm not Igbo." They said, "But
exactly."
He said, "Your name is Nkeshuku now." He said, "Yes, but I'm not Igbo."
That's what it is. That is how it is. The pure Igbo name. It's like somebody. It's also like somebody in River State who will be a Mechi. who will bear Igbo name, but they don't agree that they are Igbos.
Okay.
That is the point. Yeah, the same thing in Rivers State as well. I belong to Isokomo. I speak Isokomo, but I'm also Kwale.
I see. But how many? Yes. So you speak the 2 languages?
Yeah, I have the 2 languages. I'm not fluent in Isoko.
Okay.
But I understand Kwale very well because that is my hometown.
You know, I like Delta people. I think they are the strongest Nigerians. Why that? Why are they so strong like that?
I doubt whether they are the strongest Nigerians.
You go and look at sports.
Okay, that is sports. But we are talking of morality now. We are talking of morality and purity. We are talking of righteousness. That's where the strength lies. If we were so strong, we would have gotten rid of corruption. We don't have corrupt people ruling us. That's where I have problems with Delta State.
Yeah.
Because we are so complacent. We are so complacent. We don't seem to fight for what will make the state a place a better place. We seem to put our arms.
Okay, Godwin Okezi said Okezi. Yeah, Godwin Okezi is saying she is from the same place like you. Just the way you describe it. That's where he is from.
Okay.
Okezi.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you so very much for your time.
I'm very grateful, sir.
I've spent too much time with you today because I'm supposed to come on in 20 minutes time. In 10 minutes time.
It's amazing, sir, that you had so much time for me.
Thank you so much. God bless. Have a wonderful day. People are asking how can they join the Nigerian transformation movement. You just go to Sunday Adelaja official, Sunday Adelaja blog. That is my blog. Go to SundayAdelajablog.com, SundayAdelajablog.com/Nigeria. That is how to register for the Nigerian transformation project, the one we are doing. So he has registered, but all of us who have not registered, if you want to go to Nigeria with me, go to SundayAdelajablog.com/Nigeria. God bless you guys. Bless you.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.